Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to moments that if they weren't filmed, you just wouldn't believe them. I love these compilations because, you know, how many of us on a day-to-day basis get to see stuff that is truly unbelievable? Stuff that, you know, that it just makes you stop and watch. For me, it rarely happens because I work entirely from home. You know, I only go out really to socialize or to the gym. You know, I'm not out there in the mountains or near a volcano and I get to see like an eruption. You know, stuff like that I just don't get to see. So I'm grateful for these compilations being made. And this one here, it's from the Underworld channel. They do an amazing job of making these compilations. Judging from the comments, it's going to be an amazing one to watch. Let's find out.
From a runaway hot air balloon in Spain that nearly ended in catastrophe, and a building in Russia that had its entire roof blown off during a powerful windstorm, to some crazy ground liquefaction after a recent earthquake near Tokyo, and a freak ice storm in Buffalo, New York that turned a local restaurant into a literal ice castle. Here are 8 moments you wouldn't believe if not filmed.
That's crazy. I need to see that ice castle one. To be honest, all of them are pretty interesting.
If you travel about 25 miles east of Tokyo, you'll arrive in Chiba City, Japan. Like the rest of the country, Chiba City is susceptible to frequent earthquakes. In fact, Japan records the most earthquakes every year. Now they're probably used to it.
And that's because they're on the Pacific, is it the Pacific Ring or the Ring of Fire, something like that?
But for one American living in Japan, the after effects of an earthquake in September of 2019 threw him for a loop. The ground began to crack and the park started flooding, but nobody else seemed too concerned.
Wow, look at that. The floor is literally cracking. That's insane. The floor is cracking.
That crack was not there.
Wow.
Imagine you're minding your own business in the park, and then cracks start forming in the ground all around you. If that wasn't bad enough, imagine how you'd feel if the ground started moving back and forth like it could collapse at any second.
Insane.
Pavement isn't supposed to move like this.
I mean, this is concrete, you know. That's...
Crack is just moving.
And it must cost so much to repair all of this every year.
But this water was not there a minute ago.
Wow, and people are just chilling.
It's coming up, different places.
People are just, they're not even acknowledging it.
Here it's coming up through the sidewalk.
Insane.
What you're looking at is called ground liquefaction. It's when the strength and stiffness of the saturated soil are reduced by an earthquake or some other disturbance. Earthquakes can cause the water pressure in the soil to increase. That pressure causes the soil particles to move, thus leading to what we see here.
I see.
Especially since this is reclaimed land that I'm on right now. This used to be part of Tokyo Bay.
So there's a lot of water under there.
They created this land by throwing landfill and mountains, rocks out here. And so this land could just go potentially.
Yeah, man, there's probably tons of water under there.
You can imagine the damage that soil liquefaction can cause if it happens under a building or heavy structure. Another common example is quicksand. It won't suck you underground like in the movies, but it can cause severe damage to any structures on top of it.
Wow. But yeah, that's got to be really expensive, because if Japan gets the most earthquakes every year, they must have like a separate fund, right, to repair all of the damage. That must cost them a pretty penny every year.
On May 28th of 2019, an EF4 tornado touched down in Bonner Springs, a small community in eastern Kansas. While technically on the outskirts of Tornado Alley, USA, Bonner Springs still sees its fair share of powerful storms. One local decided it was the perfect opportunity to strap his GoPro to a metal pole when he saw the tornado approaching in the distance. His amateur time-lapse footage goes to show how quickly the weather can escalate. Everything seems calm at first, but then the trees start bending in the wind, and we see the tornado take shape in the background.
Oh my God.
The clouds
It's
come
huge.
together, and you can hear the violent wind smacking against the GoPro. We go from a sunny day to a gloomy sky. Only a tiny sliver of blue remains off to the right side of the footage. After a few more moments, everything turns gray.
Wow, that's insane how the color of the sky just went whoom, from blue to like gray. You can't even see anything. Imagine you're just like on a jog, like you're running in the park and this happens. What do you do? Maybe get behind a tree? Wow. The tornado must be right there. Like, this is like the center of it, the eye of the storm. Crazy. How is the camera still working?
Now we can hardly see a thing when the tornado moves on top of the GoPro. It rattles and shakes, but somehow stays connected to the metal pole. You can see bits of debris flying all around it.
Wow. That GoPro, I have to say, the durability.
Our GoPro made an impressive stand, but the tornado eventually won. The storm traveled about 31 miles through Douglas County, Kansas. It grew to about a mile in width, with wind speeds upwards of 170 miles per hour.
Crazy. To be fair, the fact the GoPro lasted that long, impressive.
Vic is a city in eastern Spain, about an hour north of Barcelona. If you're vacationing in the area, you can take a 3.5-hour hot air balloon tour over the city. While up in the sky, you'll see beautiful rolling landscapes all the way to Barcelona. However, that's assuming you make it that high. On March 23rd of 2018, someone thought it was a good idea to launch a hot air balloon in the middle of town. Now, we're no experts, but aren't you supposed to stay away from tall buildings when flying a hot air balloon?
Yeah, I mean, usually hot air balloons are done like in like a field, aren't they? That's where they launch off. They don't launch in the middle of a town centre. Who organised this? Oh my god. You gotta get that thing up quick. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh dear. Oh dear. Whoever's in that thing. Oh no. I'm not laughing. I'm just laughing at the stupidity of the organisation here. Okay, at least they made it. They made it over the roof. The people in there, though, they must have like a headache after hitting the wall twice.
You can already tell the wind is picking up as they fill the balloon. It starts sliding across the ground at one point, and the workers have to stop it from escaping. The balloon finally takes off with 2 people in the basket. There's an ad on the side that says, "Freedom." Maybe this was a political demonstration. The balloon almost immediately banks left and heads straight toward a 4-story building. The basket crashes into the roof, and you can feel the excitement drain from the entire crowd. What can you do at that point other than hope you make it out alive?
Yeah.
Thankfully, our passengers were okay. The balloon was able to free itself and fly away safely. Maybe next time, they'll launch in a wide-open field.
For sure. I mean, they're quite lucky because if that roof, they could have tipped it, the thingy upside down, and the people inside could have fallen out. That wouldn't have been fun.
Ice storms are no joke. If you've ever been caught in one, you know how scary it can be. Just look at what this storm did to these cars in Russia. They're completely covered in ice. At that point, all you can do is wait for the sun. Trying to break the ice will likely damage the car. But if you thought that was bad, think again. A powerful winter storm hit Buffalo, New York around Christmas time in 2022. Freezing temperatures paired with waves off Lake Erie turned Hoke's Lakeshore restaurant into a literal ice castle.
Wow.
Imagine showing up for work and this is what you see.
Wow. I mean, look, and why is it grey? Look at the ice, it's gone grey. Is it because of the dirt in the water? This looks like a movie set. Very, very weird. It almost doesn't even look like ice. It looks like sandstone or something. Like marble.
It looks fake, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like someone built an ice castle for the kids to play in before Christmas. Unfortunately, that's Eileen and Kevin Hoke's family business. While they couldn't open the doors, the restaurant itself didn't sustain any damage inside or out.
Lucky.
As third-generation business owners in Buffalo, they've learned to prepare for violent winter storms. While the scene at Hoke's was easy to marvel at, the Buffalo storm caused untold damage across Erie County. People were trapped in their cars, and emergency crews couldn't reach others in time. County Executive Mark Poloncarz called it the worst storm he will ever see in his lifetime. And that's saying something, considering Buffalo is known for its harsh winters.
Mate, that was crazy. It genuinely didn't look real to me. Like, any of you guys who live in that area, Buffalo, New York, what was it like? You know, it must have been, you couldn't go outside, right? You had to stay the whole day indoors.
Borneo is the third largest island in the world, behind New Guinea and Greenland. It's part of the Indonesian archipelago and home to about 23 million people. On October 1st of 2020, in the coastal province of South Kalimantan, locals watched in horror as strong winds pushed a literal monster to their shores. That monster took the form of a runaway cargo ship. The smaller boats and wooden shacks along the water never stood a chance.
Oh my god, that boat is going to get crunched. That green one. Oh man. Oh man. It's a houseboat as well. Someone probably lives in that thing. Oh man. Terrible.
What could anybody honestly do? The only things stopping the cargo ship were the boats and homes it crushed. It's heartbreaking to hear the locals scream and cry as their livelihoods snap like toothpicks. Aftermath shots put the damage in perspective. You might think a massive tsunami rose from the water and crushed everything on the shore. According to reports, the barge was anchored on the Barito River, which flows from the Java Sea and into the middle of the island. Sudden and powerful gusts of wind caused the ropes to snap. The barge was like a runaway train from there. It crushed small fishing boats and wooden homes along the riverbed. Thankfully, nobody was inside or on the boats when the barge came loose.
Wow. I mean, what else can you do apart from just run? Like, because you can't move the boats out of the way, can you? Or your like houses that the kind of houses that they built on the edge. Awful situation.
Borovka is a small town in western Russia. You know, one of those places where like 9 people live and they're all named Oleg. On April 26th of 2018, a powerful windstorm battered the Russian countryside. One of the Olegs could tell that something was wrong with the building
One of the Olegs. Oleg!
in front of him. The roof looked a little unstable. Then, the wind kicked up another notch.
Jeez. I mean, they clearly did not secure that roof properly. It didn't look very durable either. Just planks of wood, and then with like some thin plastic sheeting on top.
You can see the roof bobbing up and down. It never stood a chance once the wind got under it. The roof tears off like a band-aid and crashes on the opposite side. Now, we're not sure what kind of building that was. It could have been a school, an apartment building, or an office. Either way, news out of West Russia isn't easy to come by. Hopefully, they had some good wind insurance.
If such a thing exists, yeah, any roofers watching this video, that's not how you... That roof did not look like a proper roof, did it? It just looked a bit like ramshack. They just, whatever they could find, they stuck it up there.
St. Petersburg, Russia, home to about 5.4 million people and the second largest city in the country. On May 19th of 2021, a run-of-the-mill thunderstorm passed over the city, but nobody seemed to care. At the intersection of Veterans Avenue and Soldier Korzun Street, a group of locals learned why you shouldn't walk around during a lightning storm.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, my God. What is that? What was that?
Imagine hearing that
It looks like electricity falling out of the sky. What was that stuff?
sound and not knowing what's happening. It looked like more sparks than rain fell around these people. But where did those sparks come from? Different reports say different things. The post on Newsflare claims the lightning struck a nearby street lamp. Meanwhile, the Daily Mail says the bolt struck trolleybus wires on the street. Judging by how broad the spark shower was, we're leaning toward the bus wires theory.
Mate, whatever it was, that was very weird. Never seen anything like it.
Shelton, Washington is a small city about an hour southwest of Seattle. They're located among the interconnected rivers, streams, and inlets that form Puget Sound, making it a prime location for fisheries. A hatchery specialist named Alexis and her father were out for a drive when they noticed something dart across the flooded road. They slowed down for a closer look. Both were pretty sure they knew what was happening.
Hey there. You?
I do!
What is...
Oh my god!
What is that? Is that a fish?
That is cool. There's tons of them.
Are those fish?
Are you videoing it?
Uh-huh.
What the heck?
That is so cool.
This is weird, man.
They're swimming all around us.
What on earth?
That is crazy.
I ain't never seen anything like this, man. Dude, you're stuck there. You might as well turn off the engine, bro. You're gonna be there for a minute. Go, go, go. Oh, no. Oh, man. Wow.
So why'd the salmon cross the road? Apparently to have babies. According to Alexis, this isn't a rare occurrence in Washington. Local salmon usually come from the Skokomish River. They'll move into the many creeks when they're ready to have babies. But heavy rainstorms, which are also pretty common in Washington, cause the creeks to overflow and flood the roads. When that happens, fish start swimming everywhere. Ideally, they end up in another creek on the other side of the road. If not, they might get stranded. The fish migration can cause some hatcheries to balloon in population. After a storm, you might go from a few fish to thousands of fish overnight. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, then be sure to click the link on screen now.
Crazy.
With that,
Yeah, that was a cool video. The one with the ice in Buffalo, New York, where the house is just completely encased, or it wasn't the house, it was the family business, completely encased in ice. That just looked genuinely like fake to me. Like, I know it wasn't fake, but it looked fake, didn't it? The color of the ice, how thick it was, and the icicles that had formed all around the edges. It looked like something out of a movie, genuinely. Like, if I was a filmmaker and I, wasn't afraid of getting really cold, I'd probably go shoot a movie there, because you've got a free prop that you can use in your movie. And the one in Russia with the electricity that hit they said it might have been a trolley or something, or a lamp, and it exploded and it looked like it was raining electricity. That was crazy. To be honest, all of the entries in this video were crazy. The one with the salmon that was swimming across the road, it looked like they were like walking across the pavement, because the water didn't look from the angle it didn't look like it was that deep. It didn't look deep enough for fish to swim across. The video was crazy, man. Let me know what was your favorite entry on this list, man. Let me know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.